Hello everybody and good morning. I have here with me a technical pen, and this is the Accurate .05 technical pen. You can find these online and I'll leave a link below where you can get these at. But anyways, what I wanted to show you all today is some of the ways I like to create some of my doodles. And one of the techniques I like to use is sort of a scribble technique. And let me get my sketchbook here to show you an example of what I mean by that. So I have here, if I could find the page, an example of what I mean by that. So as you can see here, I'm kind of just scribbled in random areas. I get the idea onto the paper first, and then I go from there. I add more details and I start creating a little more intricate lines and stuff, kind of going all over the place. But the point that I want to make is that when I'm doing this, I'm not being so focused in every detail as I'm making the lines. I'm just kind of scribbling on the paper the outline of the general shape of it, and then after that I move forward to doing all the details once I've got that in. So I'll show you a couple other examples of what I mean. Here's another one where I kind of did that on the drawing. It's kind of like a half of a face here, but there's a bit of scribbling kind of in that area to get the details in. I used a rotring isograph to create these two drawings so far, and I use a rotring isograph on this one as well. As you can see here in the little spiral area going around that there, it's kind of a scribble technique, but I am drawing an actual shape of something. This area down here is a bit more scribbly. And let's move forward to the next drawing. This one's got some of it in it, although it looks like a sad person there. So this is kind of like, looks like tentacles or something under the sea. So it's a combination of scribbling and kind of actually drawing a shape. If you do it quite a bit, you get a bit better at it over time. So let's try and go to another drawing that has that. But I'm not sure if any of the rest of these have that much. Yeah, this one has it. As you can see this here, I've done that in a lot of the areas of the drawing, especially this area going up and around, and then here, then also in the corner over here as well of the drawing. But I like to do this technique because it allows me to be more creative and not be so worried about every detail as I'm starting the drawing. So let's go ahead and take a look, and I will show you what I mean by this little scribble technique that I like to do. So first thing I do when I'm go to draw like this, instead of holding the pen really close, I mean, although you could do that if you're drawing really small and detailed, what I like to do, instead of choking up so much on the tip of the pen, I like to hold the pen back a little bit farther. And this allows my hand to move in a larger range of motion, and it helps me draw bigger, faster, and I can kind of scribble quicker. Whereas if I'm holding it like this, I can't really move my hand as much. I'm pretty much limited to that area. Now if I move the pen back here, it's like that, because this allows you to freely draw more rather than being focused on every little tiny line, because that's kind of the point of doing this technique, and to be more creative and not get so worried about it. But first thing we're going to jump into here is, now let's say I want to draw something and I'm not really sure what to draw. You can start doing this way, and it does allow me to express ideas better and quicker by doing it like this, rather than having to try to draw everything in a certain perfect way, or try to start out how you would if you're drawing a portrait, which would be, drawing the line, get everything set up. So let's say I want to draw something, and it would be maybe part of a face, and then I want to branch out after that to create more things beside it. So the first thing I will do is I'll think to myself, okay, I want to draw the left side of a face. So I'll kind of scribble in random things in an area. And then once I've done that, I kind of get in the general shape of it. And then once I have the general shape, move forward from there, then I can add more details. try and get the kind of the outline of the eye. You don't want to get too worried about every little bit of it, but we'll get there. So now we have that. We've kind of got the general shape of the eye drawn in. If we want to, we can add like a little reflection. And then underneath the eye, if I want to now, I can draw the area underneath the eyelid that is usually in shadow. And once I have that done, I'll kind of come up down here, add a little bit more scribbles, scribble more at the top, put that area in there. And then now I've got that down, and then what I can do is kind of add a little bit of hatching. You can add some cross hatching if you wanted to. And then you can just move in, start adding more details. I can cross hatch under here if I wanted to, or in that area. So now that I've got that down, I've got something on the paper. It prevents you from having, you know, what they call artist block, where you just don't know what to put on the paper. Once I've got something on the paper, I can just kind of go from there and start adding more things. I'm like, okay, I want to draw something that's kind of like maybe a part of a tree or something coming off here. And I can do that. And then I'm like, okay, I've got that down. Now I can add some cross hatching to the area underneath it that is in shadow. So as I'm showing you this, don't mind the fact that it's not you know, super detailed and everything like some of my other drawings. This is just a tutorial. So anyways, so as you can see here, I'm going from one section to another and adding more and more, so kind of branching off of it, as you can see here. Well, I am drawing a branch, but anyways, now I've got that down. I can kind of start scribbling other things in this area. Let's say I want to draw something kind of like spiky or whatever. And then once I have a shape that I see, I'm like, oh, it kind of looks like a mountain. Then I'll be like, okay, I'll add some stippling. I'll add some lines to that area. And then once I've done that, I'll be like, okay, I'm going to add like maybe a moon back here. Maybe I'll add some stippling to it. So I can start out with this like scribbling random things. And then once I've done that, I can move forward to creating other things in the drawing as well. Now I've got that down. So once I've created that, I can add more cross hatching to other areas, add more little tiny details. And then I can kind of come over here and be like, okay, I'm going to draw to where the face looks like it's coming apart or something. So I can kind of scribble like that. Add in more things over there. And like I said, I don't really know what most of this is. I just put something on the paper and I can go with it. I don't get too worried about every little bit of it. And that's how I can draw a lot of really random weird things that is very abstract, and I don't know what any of it is. So yeah, but now I want to come down here. I can add some scribbly things, and then if I wanted to, I can kind of scribble in and add it to where maybe there's a scar here on the face. Put that in, and then now I can be like, okay, I've got that. I'm gonna scribble over here, and then I think to myself, okay, I don't know what to add from this point. Well, I can just start doing this. Start scribble here, add more over that area, and remember, hold the pen farther back and not too close at the tip of it, because if you do, you can't really get that much of a range of motion. So now I'm doing this again, kind of scribbling all over. Maybe I want it to where the face is more jagged at the bottom and it comes up like that. And then kind of scribbling up and down rather than a circular motion. You can do either technique. You can go up and down, left and right, circles, whichever works for you. But a lot of times I like to do a little bit of a circle scribbling rather than just only up and down. Kind of vary the technique and the motion of your hand. So now I've got that done. I'm like, okay, now what's something else I could add? I can maybe make it look like the person's sad, another crying. Here's like a teardrop coming down. You can add that in, so on and so forth. So I hope that gives you a general idea of what I mean by the scribble technique for this, for when I'm drawing abstract stuff. It helps me to not get super worried about all the details of it, and it allows me to just freely express myself and to not worry about what I'm really putting on paper too much. It's more of a what's the word? Intuitive, more of an instinctual type of thing, to where if you do it more often, you can start creating more doodles and more variety in your drawing, which is kind of the goal of what you want to do when you're doodling things. I mean, you could draw the same thing over and over, but I like to draw different things and make it a bit more interesting. So if I wanted to, I could take this here and I could turn this into a more detailed drawing. This could just, this is the beginning of it. I could add, if I want to, I can come in here, hold the pen at more of an angle. I could come in and do some cross hatching, kind of scribble in, make it more detailed, add more shadow, kind of add more area to the tree. Just keep moving forward from there and adding more details. Like I said, once I have something on the paper, I like to move forward from there and start adding more details later on. You can do it either way, to where you put a section of it in, then once you've got a section drawn in, you can start adding details to it. And then once you have an idea come to you, kind of just scribble that beside it or add it in the area right beside where you're at. And you can go from like one location over here and scribble back and forth, or you can just kind of like expand from the center and go outward. Or you could maybe start your drawing in a certain shape, like in a spiral, and kind of spiral around it. I mean, your options for doing it this way are unlimited. If you enjoyed this tutorial and you have any comments or suggestions about some other ways to draw and some other doodle techniques, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. And once you let me know those suggestions, I can make a tutorial on how I could show you how to create those doodles. But until then, thank you for watching, and I hope you found this helpful. You have a good day and keep on creating.